the 600 feet at minus 10 degrees Celsius gives us 60 feet, giving us a total of 260 feet. So we can set the 4,000, we need another 260 feet. So whenever we put a temperature correction in, it'll be 4260, and then always and above. So one other thing we need to correct is the decision altitude, which is 1,620 feet from the airport briefing, now dated the 17th of Jan 2022, 550 meters with full approach lights. So once again, 1620, 200 feet above the elevation, rounded up. So using the table, once again, 200 foot at minus 10 degrees Celsius gives us a 20 foot correction. So we need to adjust the DA from 1620 to 1640. So increase 1640. This approach is at 6,000 feet, so above MSA at the SBG. So now we've reviewed the setup. The max weight to use the lower minima on the NG is 65 tons from the brief once again, and a quick check shows that the landing, so if we look on the prog page, so landing at 3.9 tons, zero fuel 58 tons. So that gives us a landing mass of 61.9 tons. So 61.9 into the gross weight for the approach ref will give us flaps 40, 137 knots. For the fixed page setup, Oscar Echo Sierra, just put that in once again just so you can see that. Oscar Echo Sierra gives you the choice. So it gives you the ILS DME, which is what we want, 109.9, and we want a 2 mile range ring. So distance /2, we'll draw a 2 mile range ring. Let's take that scale down a bit. So that draws a 2 mile range ring around the ILS DME, and that 2 mile range ring here is what we'll use for the left turn in the missed approach. Approach chart also shows the max speed of 165 knots and 25 degrees angle of bank. So in the event of a missed approach, we'll need to manage the speed and make the turn in heading select until we're pointing towards the Sierra India and then right towards the SBG. So allowing the simulator to run, then there's the top of descent just coming up, just reached the cruising altitude, and we will allow the airplane to initially descend, put the airplane back into LNAV, and let's say we're descending to 4,000 feet. We're in VNAV path, so once it reaches the top of descent, we would expect the airplane to automatically reduce thrust. There we go, retard, and start its descent down to 4,000 feet. One other thing, the airplane always defaults below flight level 100 at 240, so we'll just up that to 250 knots. So passing through 10,000 feet, seatbelt signs on, fixed landing lights on. Turn these off for the time being. Just about to enter clouds. So engine start switches to continuous. Engine anti-ice on. Check the cowl valve lights go illuminated bright and then dim to show that they disagree, and then they've opened. Also then confirmed anti-ice on the N1 gauge. So we're now through 10,000 feet. There's no changes to the brief. We're getting what we're expected to do. So we can set QNH. Just happens to be 1013. And then can complete the approach checklist. So approach checklist, altimeters 1013. So we've got engine anti-ice on. Keep an eye on the wings and the nut up on the windshield to look for any build-up of ice for the use of wing anti-ice. Another restriction for this approach is that we cannot use the wing anti-ice after 4 miles from the Oscar Echo Sierra. So if it does go on, you need to make sure you switch it back off in preparation for the go-around. So here we are approaching the SBG VOR, flaps 1. So select flaps 5. Speed intervene and flaps 5 manoeuvring speed. So on this heading, the SBG is on the extended centerline, cleared for the approach. So arm in approach and the second autopilot. So the profile should intercept the glide path at 8 miles on the Oscar Echo Sierra, which is identified on the left hand side. Localizer alive. Forelock, single channel. So we'll update the head Hindenburg to match the inbound course. So that's the NDB. So we will now transfer over for the Sierra India. Switch over 410. Get the Sierra India identified, and in the meanwhile we've had glide slope capture. Glide slope captured, we've set the missed approach 6,000 feet. So now we're temperature corrected and we told this 4260. This should be coincidental with the FI-15, which was originally set to 4,000 above. So now we've got our VNAV path matching and confirmed on the glide path. So decent steady headwind of 10 knots. So get configured nice and early, so it's LVOs, so gear down, flaps 15 manoeuvring speed, pilot flying arm the speed brake. We're in anti-ice, so we already have the ignition switches selected to continuous. 6,000 feet set for the missed approach. So just to remind ourselves, we need the 2-mile range ring which we've put in here from the Oscar Echo Sierra as the turning point to come back to Sierra India NDB. So we've got that matched on here on the ADF and backed up for the nav display. Just bring that range in, or take the range out actually just to show you the terrain that we're concerned with. So flaps 25 manoeuvring speed. So land 3. You see that the flare and rollout's armed. Flaps 40 manoeuvring speed. of your F+5 now. And landing checklist. Get the landing checklist completed in IMC before 1,000 feet. So landing checklist complete. So we know we're intending to go around off this. It's an automatic approach just so I can manage the MCP whilst I'm talking and demonstrating through the manoeuvre. So we want to go around, and once we've gone around, then once the pitch is established, we'll engage level change, make sure that the speed's below 165 knots, engage heading select, and then turn at the 2 miles. So there's the change into amber, so 500 stable. This is obviously the Cat 1 minima. So nothing seen. Toga going around. Flaps 15. Positive rate. Gear up. Established in the climb. Level change. Max 165. Engage heading select. Waiting for the 2 mile range ring. So there's a normal acceleration point on this. We're waiting until we're inbound to the Sierra India and above 2,500 feet. So there we go, heading select. Making the turn. So we can see where the needle is at the minute. About 330. MCP speed alt acquire, so we've reached the altitude at a good time. Sierra India is now about 310. Keep that heading coming around. So above 2,500 feet, inbound Sierra India. Can accelerate. Flaps 5. Once we're through flaps 5, at flaps 5 accelerate, call flaps 1. At flaps 1, past flaps 1 manoeuvring speed, flaps up. So just approaching the Sierra India, make the right turn to the SBG, switch this back. after takeoff scan followed by the after takeoff checklist. You can tidy this up then with direct to the SBG NDB and the gauge LNAV. LNAV's engaged, we're at 6,000 feet and it's complete. So things to take away from the setup of this: making sure you use the fixed page to give yourselves your turning points, using your temperature corrections to make sure that the terrain clearance altitudes are correct. Counted, as I say, for today -10 degrees Celsius, and then certainly briefed for the missed approach, the management of the speed and heading select for the turn back to the Sierra India NDB. And that's it for that demonstration. Not much to see out of the window, but it's more of a technical brief. Hope you've enjoyed that. The next one we'll do the approaches, the RNAV RMP ARs to runway 33. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you on the next one.